Hi, second grade. It's good to see you again. What did that clock look like when you showed 9:15 from yesterday? Yes, that hour hand was on the 9 or close to it. And that minute hand was on the 3. Much like that 3:15, right? Right from the beginning, or even that 7:15 from our little practice or warm up. Remember, when we're looking at our time to the quarter hour, we can look at those points on this little divided clock, but we're not just sticking to that these days, are we? No, we are thinking about our time to the every 5 minutes, or what we call our 5-minute intervals, our little chunks of 5 minutes. Let's take a look at our learning target today, and we're just going to get right into some really great learning. I can tell and write time to the quarter hour and 5-minute intervals. Again, just like yesterday, yes, we are telling and writing. I'm going to show you a time, you're going to show me a clock. Or I'm going to show you a clock, and you're going to tell me the time. And we can write that in different ways. We can write it on a clock, or we can also write it in a digital form. That means writing the hour, the 2 dots, and the minute. And we're even adding in our AM and our PM, thinking about that time before noon or before lunchtime, if we can think about it like that, or after lunchtime or after that noon time, after 12 o'clock noon. Our AM happens before that, our PM happens after that. Now, we are thinking about this 5-minute interval. That means we're going to look at each of these 5 minutes, not just... Let's go ahead and get started with our first problem. Set your clocks to 11:30. Show me your digital time, or not your digital time. I'm showing you my digital time. You're going to show me your analog time for 11:30. What does that look like? Where is your hour hand when you're drawing your 11:30? Where's your minute hand when you're drawing 11:30? Let's take a peek at that. Where's my hour hand? That's right. It's halfway between our 11 and our 12. Because why? Yeah, my minute hand is almost cutting my clock in half. Right down the middle. It is halfway between 11 and 12. My hour hand needs to be between my 11 and my 12. My minute hand needs to be straight down at my 6 to show 11:30. Very nice. Now, what are you doing at 11:30 in the morning? Eating lunch? Doing reading? Doing math? We're just finishing up lunch in our classroom. Yes, at 11:30 in the morning, we are having some lunch. What about at 11:30 p.m.? Ooh, what about 11:30 p.m.? Hopefully sleeping, much like our times in the morning from yesterday. Ooh, that, was it 4:45 and 5:20? Oh, sleeping. Well, 11:30 p.m., hopefully you're sleeping too. That's almost to midnight. My goodness. Now, is there another name for 11:30? Yes, and you can see that right on the clock, right? It is half past 11, right? It's past the 11 o'clock hour, and it's halfway past that 11 o'clock hour. It's gone halfway around the clock. So we call that half past 11. 11 a.m. we're having some lunch or doing some learning, and 11 p.m. we are fast asleep. Show me 3:55. Ooh, this is not on the quarter hour, not on the half hour. Where will 3:55 be? Where will 3:55 be? closer to 4 o'clock or is it closer to 3 o'clock? How do you know? 55 is pretty close to 60, isn't it? Is it 4 o'clock yet? All right, friends, let's take a peek at what this looks like. You want to show me your clocks? 3:55. Ooh, all right, my friends. Make sure I'm holding this up the right way. Where is my minute hand in 3:55? How do I know it'll be at my 11? 5. That's right. 5, 10. Had a helper this evening. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Yes. It's 3:55. So my minute goes here. Where's my hour hand? What do you notice about it? It is closer to that 4. Because why? It's almost gone completely around my clock. We might even say that this time is 5 till 4 o'clock. Have you ever heard that? Instead of saying it's 3:55, we might say it's 5 till 4. Or I would write it out maybe 5 till 4, which is short for until. It's close to 4. In fact, it's only 5 minutes until 4 o'clock. 3:55 a.m. What would you do? Sleeping? I hope so. What about 3:55 p.m.? Homework? Same thing as about that 4 o'clock time from yesterday, right? Maybe playing outside. Oh, those are wonderful things to do in the afternoon. So 3:55 a.m., sleeping away. 3:55 p.m., we're playing and having fun after school. Wonderful. What about 1:05? Let's read that again. 1:05. What would that look like on our clock? You know what I'm going to do? When we have our 5, we have to remember that there's a 0 in that tens place, right? There has to be a place that holds that. So we might have our 5, 10, 15. There's 0 tens in that. How would that look on your analog clocks? Show me 1:05. Where will your minute hand go? Where will your hour hand go? What do you notice about those two hands? They're pretty close to each other, aren't they? Hold up and show me your 1:05. Ooh. Where is my minute hand at 1:05? It's pointing to the 1, right? It's not 150. It's 1:05. And when we say 1:05, that is coming before our 10. That's our 5. So our minute hand is pointing to that 1. Where's the hour hand pointing to? It's pointing to that 1 too, where it's pretty close to that 1. Now let's think about this one. At 3:55, it was closer to 4. At 1:05, we're closer to what? That's right. We're closer to that time, or closer to that hour that we wrote, right? So instead of 5 till the next time, it's what? 5 after 1 or 1:05. It's very close to that 1 o'clock. What would you do at 1 o'clock in the morning? That AM time, we're sleeping again. What about 1:05 in the afternoon? Who else is in the middle of reading groups or math? We're in the middle of learning at that time, aren't we? Lunch has already happened. That's right, we're thick into learning. It's the middle of the learning day. So at 1:05 p.m., we're in the middle of learning. At 1:05 a.m., we're sleeping. I got one more time for you to think about today. Show me 12:45 on your analog clock. Show me 12:45 on your analog clock. What does that time look like? Where will my minute hand be? Where will my hour hand be? Is it closer to my 1? Or is it closer to my 12? How do you know? Hold up your clocks in front of me. Seeing some wiggle waggles. Let's take a peek at this. How does this show 12:45? It almost looks like 1 o'clock. How is this 12:45 and not in the 1 o'clock hour? It hasn't gotten to the 1 o'clock yet, has it? 1 o'clock isn't until here, but it is very close. It is 12:45. That means it's gone all the way around the clock, and it's only about 15 minutes until 1. So it is closer to 1 o'clock than it is that 12 o'clock. That is the hour that it is in. Very good. It's important to make sure that our hour hand moves. How many of us have a hard time remembering that? You know, that is something that's probably the hardest thing as we share our time in 2nd grade. Thinking about where that hour hand has to be to match where that minute hand is. Now, in this case, it was half past, and so my hour hand is halfway between those 2 hours. In this case, it was very close to my 4 o'clock, and so my hour hand is very close to my 4. Still not 4 o'clock yet, but it's very close. This one, it's still very close to my 1 o'clock because it's just 1:05. So my hour hand isn't going to be very far at all from that 1 on my analog clock. But in this case, our 12:45 has an hour hand that's very close to my 1 because my minute hand has gone all the way around here. And what's that name that we say? We have our half past, our quarter past, which we used yesterday. That means it's 15 after. Then we have our quarter to, or we might say quarter till. That's that 45. That means we've gone very far around our clock and we're almost to that next hour. So in this case, what would we say this time was? We were using another way of saying that. That's right. We would say it is a quarter to what? It's a quarter till 1 because it's almost to that 1 o'clock. 12:45 a.m. It's just after midnight. What are we doing? Sleeping. 12:45 p.m. What are we doing? Yes, hopefully we're learning. Yes, that's a wonderful, it's the middle of our learning day. Just like 1:05. Yes. Maybe even like our 11:30. 3:55 p.m., we're already at home, aren't we, 2nd grade? As you do your math, as you do your learning with your clocks today, remember, you might read a time a different way depending on where that minute hand is. Maybe you're thinking about a time that's half past, or 5 till, or 5 after, or quarter till, or quarter to. We see lots of different names for different times depending on where that minute hand is. Happy telling of time, friends. It's tricky, but it's very helpful and will help you grow as learners and thinkers for all the days to come.